Yo, what's up? So we got our first set of announcements for MLB The Show 21. I know a lot of people have been waiting for news to hit, and today was the day. I'm a patient person, so I just been chilling, not really doing anything, but we finally got some information. I'm excited to go over it. We got the cover athletes, which platforms the game's going to be on, and some other details to go over, which I think is some valuable early information, I guess. So, cover athlete, Fernando Tatis Jr. This was leaked a couple days ago, and obviously now it's true. I personally think Tatis is probably the best option as a cover athlete, and they show it right here. There's a little trailer. I'm not going to play the trailer just cuz, but they got it right front and center. The new face of baseball. I can't disagree with that. Tatis is a stud, and the Padres, with all the offseason moves that they did, they're definitely maybe World Series contenders. They got a really good squad. So the Padres, entertaining team. Tatis, entertaining player, and there's a lot of, maybe, I don't know if I want to use the word hype, but there's a lot of hype around Tatis. So I think this was the perfect choice, and really the only choice that I would have been really happy about, and obviously we got him. So Tatis Jr. is the cover athlete. Let's go on to the platform. So it is going to be on Xbox and PS5. So, and obviously Xbox One, PS4, next gen and current gen. So everyone has a chance to play. It won't be on Nintendo Switch. So I think that's kind of disappointing. I was hoping this year it would also take that step also. No word on PC. I don't think it will be on PC. I don't know if it'll ever be on PC, to be honest. But for this year, we got Xbox. That in itself is a big move because, as you guys know, it's been a PlayStation exclusive, pretty much ever since the game's been out. So just the fact that it moves on to Xbox this year, I think is going to be a pretty big move. And hopefully all the people that have never played MLB The Show get a chance to play it now on Xbox. Now, we do have the next gen standard edition. That's going to be $69. And then the current gen is $59. And then the digital deluxe edition is going to be announced on February 3rd. So why is that important? One, that probably is like $100. So if you want that edition, I would wait until you pre-order. I think that's the main edition that, especially if you're a Diamond Dynasty player, that's the edition to go after. And there's also the collector's edition. So there's multiple editions that are going to be announced on February 3rd. Also, if you do plan on pre-ordering the game, I would get the next gen version, no matter what version it is, whether it's like the standard edition, the deluxe edition, the collector's edition. I would get whatever the next gen version is, because if you get the next gen version, you also will get the current gen game. I believe that's how it works. So if you have a PS4 now and you plan on getting a PS5, it's probably best just to spend that extra $10 and get the next gen version so you can play on both platforms, I guess, because there is going to be cross-gen, which I think is pretty big, and cross-gen progress, cross-save progress. So you will be able to play on your PS4, on your PS5, and I think that pretty much means you can play on your PS5 and on your Xbox if you have both systems. So that's kind of nice right there. We'll look into that a little bit more. But right now, I guess the pre-order bonuses are 10,000 or 10 show packs for the next gen and 5,000 stubs, and then 5,000 subs for this. Normally, if you pre-order it on PlayStation, then you get like additional rewards too. But hopefully on Wednesday, we'll see all the pre-order bonuses with like the collector's edition, digital deluxe edition, and see what everything has to offer. Now, just like a quick glimpse, I guess, this might be another leak. Now, I don't know if this one is true, but just the fact that they have this came out a couple days ago also, like right after the Fernando Tatis Jr. leak came out. And the reason I want to say this is true, because it does have the early access date of 4/16. So I don't even know if I mentioned it, but the game does drop April 20th. So this leak right here would kind of make sense. And if Jackie Robinson is the cover, it's Jackie Robinson. I'm not mad about it. I would have preferred a new legend if it's like a collector's edition and whatnot, but still, for the Jackie Robinson Foundation, it definitely would be for a good cause to support that, the Scholars program. So not mad about that. But if this leak is true, then early access would be 4/16, and we would have the digital Jackie Robinson edition and the deluxe edition. But just throwing that out there. Let's go over here really quick, because this is where they pretty much introduce it, and there's definitely some valuable information right here. So we do got cross-platform play and cross-progression, so that's kind of what I was mentioning earlier, and that means, you know, PlayStation players can play versus Xbox players, and you can save your progress between both consoles, which is pretty nice, especially if you have both consoles. Like, I got the PS5, I got the PS4. If I really want, you know, I can have my PS5 on my setup right here, and then my PS4 pretty much hooked up to my TV, and then whenever I'm laying down in bed, you know, I could be playing and grinding that out at night. Also, this is another thing right here. MLB The Show 21 features premieres. So this is pretty much just like how they do their live streams and the roadmap when they release information. So this one says the first one's going to be released in March, which is kind of disappointing because I was hoping we would get like the roadmap where all the news and information starts coming out in February. But with an April release date, it does make sense that, you know, we're going to start getting that in March. But that's pretty much where each week, you know, they'll take one mode, like Road to the Show, March to October, franchise. And it looks like they got 6 of these planned out. They'll pretty much dedicate 1 week to each of those modes, and that's when we'll get like the most of our information. So that's pretty much it on this page. You got the feature premieres, which will be the roadmap, and that's going to be coming out in March. And then cross-platform play and cross-progression. I think that's a pretty nice feature too. And I think it makes sense because obviously Xbox is just getting in. Who knows how much the game would end up selling on Xbox. It's nice to have that cross-play where, you know, both communities are kind of together. So next thing, they do have some frequently asked questions. I think this is a big one right here. Will MLB The Show 21 have year-to-year saves? And the answer to that is no. So if you guys don't know what that is, that's pretty much if like you want to take your MLB The Show 20, we'll say Road to the Show player, and transfer him to MLB The Show 21. For Road to the Show, it might not be that big of a deal, but I think this really makes it difficult for the people that do like community rosters, like the OSFM rosters. There's people that do custom logos and custom players. Like I see Barry Bonds, A-Rod, stuff like that in the community market where people download and use it for themselves. So year-to-year saves, I think what I just mentioned will be much difficult to transfer it over because they're taking that feature kind of away, which doesn't really make sense to me, but I guess it is what it is. Will cross save be part of MLB The Show? That's a yes right there, which I think is pretty big. This is pretty much if you are buying the collector's edition. I'm not going to go over this. Like I said, the best thing to do is to buy the most expensive version, or at least like the next gen version, not necessarily like the $100 version, but the next gen version where you can have that game and then the current gen also. And then the platforms, we already mentioned this, going to be on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and PlayStation 5. It is cross-platform, so that is pretty nice. And then if you're buying stubs, so whatever system you buy the stubs on, this is if you have both PlayStation and Xbox, whatever system you buy the stubs on is the system you have to use those stubs on. That's kind of weird. I don't know why it's set like that. Obviously, if you make stubs just generally, then you can use that on both systems. But that one might confuse a lot of people, especially if they're switching between 2 different consoles. And then, can I play against users on different consoles? That answer is yes also. So that's kind of the frequently asked questions that they provided us with. And then the last thing is right here. So we already went over the price point. Now, I wouldn't pre-order, like I said. I would wait until Wednesday to see all those details. But they do have some additional stuff right here, which is kind of interesting and definitely new. So a host of all new features gives you complete control. Now, for the first time ever, take your ball player from Road to the Show and use him in other game modes. Now your ball player can be a 2-way star. That's interesting. You know, when I first saw this, I think I misinterpreted it. Or, I mean, I didn't read it on this page. This page obviously makes it more clear than where I initially saw it. But pretty much, it seems like your Road to the Show player is now your Diamond Dynasty created player. So Road to the Show looks like will be more so implemented into Diamond Dynasty, which could be pretty nice. Road to the Show, I like their archetypes when it comes to the creative player. Hopefully that means you can have multiple positions, a secondary position and a primary position, because right now in Diamond Dynasty you can only have one creative player. I mean, you can make multiple creative players, but your creative player can only play one position. And if there's multiple positions, that would be kind of nice. And the other thing about this that kind of makes it interesting is maybe this is the start of the Sandlot mode that I know a lot of people want. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it's pretty much taking your Road to the Show player and competing versus other people in their Road to the Show player. So it doesn't have to be 9 versus 9, but I'm sure they could do like 5v5 with CPU players filling out the positions, or even just home run derbies. I think it would make it a lot of fun if you take, the Road to the Show aspect, bring it into Diamond Dynasty, and then you can do other stuff versus other players. It just brings a whole different atmosphere to it, to be honest. But it kind of makes me more so excited for Road to the Show, especially if you can take that Road to the Show player and do multiple things with him. But obviously we got to wait for more information and to see what they really mean with this. But just like the first glimpse, the first read through, I guess, it does sound like a big change and something that could end up being really big. They also mentioned updates to franchise in March to October. I don't really know. With franchise in March to October, the changes, especially last year especially from 19 to 20, they were kind of limited. So I don't know, how much to take into this and how much changes they really will make. But I do know there's franchise people out there that definitely want the mode to be revamped. And hopefully they cater to the franchise people. March to October, I don't really know what they could change. I mean, March to October is not a bad mode. It's nice, fast pace, especially if you don't want to play franchise and play like a whole 182 games. March to October is definitely a nice change of pace. And then in Diamond Dynasty, streamlined programs to provide you clearer goals and more rewards based on how you play. I'm hoping this means like career missions from MLB The Show 17. That's one thing I definitely want to see return. But just like a generalization, when it comes to programs, team affinity, I want more ways to earn program points or program stars or team affinity points. Gives me some hope that that's kind of what we're getting, more ways to earn, which would definitely be pretty nice. I guess this also confirms programs are coming back, which I don't see why they wouldn't. I feel like a lot of people like the program system. There's also a whole lot of other stuff that I want to see just tweaked out a little bit. And then new to MLB The Show this year is gameplay styles alongside new gameplay onboarding tutorials, new ways to learn the game. So pretty much just tutorials for people. And then they got casual, simulation, and competitive. I don't know if there's going to be any new competitive modes. I know a lot of people want a weekend league type mode, and maybe we get something like that. I'm not really sure yet. There's still a lot of time until the game is officially released. And I did read something earlier. I don't remember which page I read it on, but it did mention something about collisions. So I don't know if that means player collisions. I think if that's the case, that would signal that there's probably a new engine for the game, which I wouldn't be surprised if there's a new engine. But I think like next year we would definitely see something new, because you got to give them time with the next gen consoles before you make like that significant change. So I don't know if there's a new engine or anything, but they did mention collisions. That could be player collisions, or that could just be like collisions and animations coming off the walls, just like how you play the ball off the wall, stuff like that. So I guess that's it. And then obviously we're gonna get new legends. Hopefully we get a lot of new legends. I think last year we had over 30. Another 30 would be pretty nice this year, implementing the Negro Leagues or just honoring that, because the MLB now honors that. I think that would be pretty nice. And there's a lot of other stuff that I would like to see. So maybe I'll drop my wish list if you guys want to see that. And then maybe the legends I would like to see for MLB The Show 21. But the cover itself does look pretty nice. We'll leave it on this screen right here. The cover looks pretty nice. Got that teal little background right there. We'll see what the digital deluxe edition is on the 3rd on Wednesday. And then hopefully we get maybe another sneak peek of information. Maybe our first legend drop sometime this week. and we'll have to see what happens. But let me know what you guys think about everything, and if you guys are excited for MLB The Show 21. As always, we will be covering all the MLB The Show news and everything that pretty much comes out. And then once the game comes out, you know how it goes. We're going to be grinding that no money spent and just getting it on from there. But let me know what you guys think about everything. If you guys are excited with what got announced today, let me know what you guys think about the cover athlete, the cover, and all that stuff. But until the next one, if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe, drop a link in the video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'm out.